So if you're new, guys, hit the subscribe button. So we're on our way to pick up my Audi A4 and take it to the garage. So I want to talk about high mileage cars. Now, I love high mileage cars for the sole point that you get so much car for your money, and if the car's been looked after right, high mileage cars are for the win. So my A4, I paid £1,000 for it. It had new drive shafts, it had new tyres all the way around, it had service every year, it had new brake discs and pads. So we're already in £1,000 worth of parts on this car, and it is a 2009 car, meaning that it's the first of that generation. I think they made it from 2008 to 2015. It's a 2-litre diesel, so again, it can go for as long as you look after it. So I paid £1,000 for it, but after about 5 months of owning it, started to play up a little bit. It's got a little wobble. So we had the flywheel replaced at a cost of £816. That did not solve the problem. So today we're taking it back to the garage to find out what actually is wrong with it. I think that it's going to be an engine mount, but I actually have no idea. But that's what my car is. So high mileage cars, for me, if you buy a high mileage car, you get so much car for your money. So I paid £1,000 for a 2009 A4 with all of that stuff done on it, and if you look online for a similar sort of like 2009 car with say 70,000, you're still paying £6,000 for that car, and I paid £1,000. So it's 100% a win when it comes to selling higher mileage. So higher mileage cars for my personal self, as long as I've had all the stuff done and they're all together, they run good, and I don't have to spend tons of money putting stuff right, they're a win. In terms of selling higher mileage cars, they're not a bad idea if you're buying the car for £1,000 and you don't have to spend another £1,000, and you can sell it for say £2,500, and it's the insurance are insuring it for my car for £4,000, and the retail's about £3,500. So it works out that if you can get it for £1,000 or £1,500 and you can sell it for £2,500, you can make £1,000 off that car by just tidying it up and advertising all the key selling points: new tyres, new brakes, new drive shafts, well looked after, full service history, cam belt's been replaced twice. Then you're onto a winner. But as a rule of thumb, I don't like to try and sell higher mileage cars for the sole point that they take longer to sell. And then obviously you end up coming down and down and down, so you can pay 1,500 quid for a car, do the MOT, do the bits on it, make it as nice as possible, and then you only get £2,000 for it, and you've done a lot of effort, a lot of time, it took a long time to sell, and you haven't made the money from it. So it's one of those. So I'm literally about 2 seconds away from the car. It's been left at my work for like 2 months, and now today's the day we're going to fix it. So it's already been to the garage, had the flywheel done, still didn't fix the problem. The wobble is just as bad as always, so it's going back in, but the garage didn't have space to look at it, so it's been rebooked for today. So I'll see you when we get to the car, and we'll have a little look at the car itself. See you in 2. So I've just picked the car up. I'm now sitting in the car, but I want to show you the outside. I also don't want to go out in that, so I'll give it 2 minutes and see if that calms down. I definitely don't want to go outside and show you the car in the rain. It would look better in the rain, I suppose, but I don't want to go out. So that's my train of thought. So obviously I know you can hear that, but when the car is in drive, there's a vibration. Take it out, it's fine. Really don't know if you can hear that, but in the car you can feel it. When you drive, there's a wobble side to side, so the car's just wobbling, and when you kind of pull away, there's a bit of a knock. So basically, flywheel is being replaced, 800 bloody quid. I've probably said that about 4 times now, but it just annoys me that I paid £800 and it didn't fix the car. Especially when I paid £1,000 for the car and £800 to fix the car, you know what I mean? And after today's repair, we're going to be, I don't know, more in parts than we are for the car. But, you know, when you're buying a high mileage car, you have to replace parts. It's part and parcel. You buy it cheaper, but you are going to have to fix things. The rain looks like it's slowing down slightly, so it's now or never really. So there is no way I'm standing out in the rain. So there it is. I paid £1,000, obviously, like I've said about 3 times. New brakes, new tyres, drive shafts, cam belt, full history. And we're just gonna leave it here, and hopefully we'll be able to find out what is wrong with it, and then I will catch up with you guys back at the dealership. So we're back at the dealership. So I guess what I'm saying with high mileage cars is that every car has a selling price, whether it's 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand. Every car has a price that it will sell for. So if you are going to look at buying higher mileage cars, or one comes your way and you're thinking, do I, don't I? It's going to sell for a price. So get that price, work that price out, and know that price is going to be the price. So for my car, yes, it's insured for 4 grand, but I'm going to sell it for 3 grand is kind of the maximum that somebody's going to want to come and buy that car for. So I got 3 grand in my head. That's my figure that I'm happy to take on that car, and that's what it will sell for. So I can do the repair today, say it's another £400. I'm in the car for 2,200, and I could sell that car for 3 grand. So it wouldn't be a bad car to sell. I could make £800 off that car. It comes down to the cost you buy cars, and that is a principle for buying any car at all. Every car has a sale price, so you can't change that. If it's a Corsa, it sells for 1,500 quid. That's what that car will sell for. Doesn't matter if the retail value is 2 grand. There's 300 Corsas for sale, so yours is not going to be sold for 3 grand. That's just a retail value. But there's so many out there that, you know, it's 2.5 grand, and that's what it will sell for. So I've just had a call from the garage. I'm now going to go up there and find out what they've found, whether it is the end for the A4 and it gets parted out, or whether it goes on. We're about to find out. Well guys, it's the end of the day, and I'm pleased to tell you that the Audi is finally fixed. So once again, a massive shout out to Danny and the guys at Library Road. So it was just a drive shaft. So the receipt that I had for the drive shafts for this car was obviously either an old receipt, I've made it up. Sometimes I do that with service history, but the car is fixed, it's all working, and I'm about to go home after a long day. So we'll wrap this up in the car, but the car is fixed. So let's jump in the car and get out of here. So I'm going to end the video there, guys. In my opinion, high mileage cars for yourself are definitely a good thing, because you're buying them at such a cheap price and they look great. This car looks amazing for £1,000. Okay, now I'm in it 2,000 total, but to buy a low mileage one of these, like I said, 6 grand. So it's definitely a win in that sense. In terms of selling them, they take longer to sell. If you're buying, my advice to you, this would be my advice to be honest, buy desirable cars that are high mileage. So the 530 D, I bought it for £1 grand. I can sell it for 3.5. If you go back through the videos, you'll see my Range Rover that I had. I bought that for 3 grand, had it for a year, sold it for 3.5 grand, didn't spend any money on it for a year, so I made another 500 quid off the car, had it for a year. So I think that's my advice. If you're gonna buy higher mileage cars, buy ones that have a huge desirability. If this was a generation before car, like an 07 plate A4, it's not going to be worth 3.5 grand, is it? So they're 2.5 grand cars. So yeah, I think choose desirable cars, choose the facelifted version, and you should be all right. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. Pop over to the Instagram as well. If you've got any questions, you can DM me there. And as always, guys, hit that subscribe button, man. Let's get this channel moving. Appreciate all the support. The channel's been growing really fast lately, and yeah, massively appreciate that. So yeah, let's talk more action, and I'll see you in the next one.